Good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Troy Fullerton with Bilingual Barrier Busters. I want to talk tonight about some pretty crazy things that I hear anymore, much more so than I used to, about the supposed futility or lack of utility in attempting to develop bilingual skills. People are saying things like, well, studying a foreign language is really irrelevant and superfluous now because we have AI. We have Google Translate. It's not necessary to learn to translate between two languages because, after all, machines will do it for you, and you can even hold conversations with people using an app of some kind. It used to be that was pretty easily refuted because people would see kind of the goofy translations that some of these apps would give you, and right away you'd realize there was something the matter. But, nowadays I'll admit that a lot of the translation apps are pretty good. You can at least get the gist of what's being said through them, and so no real problem there. But I want you to stop and think about something. An app can't think. An app does not break down a barrier to form a relationship with somebody. An app doesn't, using an app doesn't give you insight into your own language or make you curious about somebody else's language, and it does not build a bridge to other people's cultures. When you learn a language, you not only learn that language, but you learn the cultural pragmatics that go along with the community that uses that language. Furthermore, there is a certain process that takes place, literally organic changes that are made in an individual's brain as a person becomes bilingual, develops bilingual skills. These are physical changes that take place. So, there's nothing like learning another language that really gets you to thinking about what you mean by the words you use, because when you have to use those words in another language, you start to distinguish, what do I mean by for? What do I mean by is? What do I mean by yeah, because there may be more than one way to express that in the language that you're using. Oftentimes there is. None of that happens because somebody uses a translation app. None of that occurs. Furthermore, you don't really, and I mentioned this in another video, you don't really know somebody like you think you do until you know them in their native language. That's something that everybody should be aware of.